With a new student, I begin by teaching sound letter pairings and concepts. The reason that I begin here is that dyslexic and non-dyslexic students need to have this knowledge. Many students will make the associations between the letters and the sounds without being taught these ideas, but many will not be able to do so, and few understand the concepts and categories of consonants, consonant pairs, voiced and unvoiced consonants, how similar sounding letters are articulated very differently. If your students have phonological and phonemic awareness inefficiencies, they will not hear the difference between many sounds. T and D are difficult to distinguish because we use the same part of our mouth to produce them, only the voicing differs. F and TH both are made with a continual stream of air. F involves the lower lip and teeth, and TH uses the tongue to expel the air. O and AU vary slightly in how open or closed the jaw is. All these consonants and vowels sound so similar that our students often have a challenging time discriminating between them. Teaching the articulatory gestures gives your students another reliable input system to associate with the letters and their sounds, and a language to use when they make a mistake and you are giving them feedback to correct that mistake. When we teach the articulatory gestures and the linguistic concepts, these facts are important. This sounds complicated, but when you experience how to teach a consonant pair in the next activities, you'll see that you can easily talk about these ideas with kindergartners, elementary school students, middle schoolers, or even adults. You can use common terms for each consonant and vowel concept that we're teaching, or you can use academic vernacular. Consonants are closed phonemes or closed sounds. The reasons that consonants are labeled closed phonemes is that some part of the mouth closes off the airflow and then releases it. The consonants come in groups, pairs, or 3 or 4 sounds. When we teach the articulatory features of the consonants, we need to question about what part of the mouth is being used, the location in the mouth, the front, middle, or back of the mouth, defining the type of air produced by a consonant, and voicing. Vowels are open phonemes because to produce the vowel sounds, you position your lips, tongue, and jaw in a fixed open position and pass the air out of that structure to make a vowel sound. Therefore, when teaching the articulatory features of the vowels, we emphasize how our lips, tongue, jaw work together to create the sounds, as well as voicing. I speak with all of my students about one-letter consonants or single consonants, consonant blends, and digraphs. I speak about one-letter vowels or single vowels, vowel teams, or digraphs and diphthongs, depending on my students' ages. With older students, it is imperative to honor their learning abilities and to talk with them with appropriate academic language. Now, I'm going to ask you to go through some of these ideas with me. Please put on your learner hat to experience these consonants and vowels with me actively, as your students would. Vowels are articulated using the lips, tongue, and jaw, as well as a voice box. All vowels are voiced. The single vowels, A, E, I, O, and U, have very minute articulation differences, and therefore we use a conceptual framework or an image, the single vowel staircase, to help students distinguish between the sounds and the articulatory features. Many other practitioners use similar organizational concepts. I've chosen to focus on the single vowels first because they are the most common vowels, and therefore, when our students learn these vowels well, they can read lots and lots of words and syllables. This is the single vowel staircase. It is a picture of how we use our lips and jaw to make the single vowels A, E, I, O, and U. When we say the single vowel sounds, our lips and jaw are in different positions. The lips are shaped like a smile at the top of the staircase, and they will gradually open as we move down the staircase to a very relaxed, open position. At the top of the staircase, the jaw is closed, and with every step down, it opens a little bit until it is quite open at the bottom of the staircase. Here is a way to feel the movement of your jaw as you say the vowels on the single vowel staircase. Put your thumb under your chin and your fingers along your cheek. Say these sounds: I, A. Did your jaw open or close when you moved from I to A? It is very easy to feel that opening movement in your jaw if you use your hand this way. You can also rest your elbow on a table to get more feedback. Let's build a staircase together using the single vowels. I will say the sounds and then ask you to repeat them. Please repeat the sounds of these two single vowels. I, A. Which one is your jaw more closed on when you say these sounds? I is more closed. Which vowel is your jaw more open on? A is more open. This is how we use the idea of the staircase to represent the jaw positions. The A goes lower on the staircase because that shows how open our jaw is compared to the I. The I goes higher on the staircase because our jaw is more closed. Let's compare these two sounds. I, A. Which one is your jaw more closed on when you say these sounds? I is more closed, A is more open. The I will go higher on the staircase and the A will go lower because our jaw opens when we go from I to A. Now let's compare A and A. Which one is your jaw more closed on when you say these sounds? A, A. A is more closed, A is more open. Therefore, the letter A sits between the I and the O on the staircase. Let's compare I, A. Which one is your jaw more closed on when you say these sounds? I is more closed, A is more open. So the letter U goes lower on the staircase than the I. Now let's compare A. Which one is your jaw more closed on when you say these sounds? A is more closed, A is more open. The letter U goes higher on the staircase than the O. Now let's compare A. Which one is your mouth more closed on when you say these sounds? A is more closed, A is more open. The letter U sits between the A and the O because of how open or closed our jaw is when we pronounce the sounds. Let's compare E to all of the other single vowels. The sounds E and A. Let's say those. Which one is your jaw more closed on? E. On which one is your jaw more open? A. So the E sits higher on the staircase than the O. Let's compare E. Which one is your jaw more closed on when you say these sounds? E is more closed, A is more open. The E sits higher on the staircase than the U. Compare E, A. Which one is your jaw more closed on when you say these sounds? E is more closed, A is more open. So the E sits higher on the staircase than A. Finally, let's compare E, I. Which one is your jaw more closed on when you say these sounds? I is more closed, E is more open. So the E sits lower on the staircase than the I. We need to check ourselves. Please put your hand again on your cheek and say these sounds in order to see if your jaw starts out closed and opens in little baby steps to the most open positions. I, E, A, Ah. There are many fine commercial teaching materials that have pictures of the mouth to help us teach these skills and focus our students on the articulatory features. One of the things that I've done is to have each of my students make pictures of their own mouths when saying the vowels or the consonant sounds. This is an example of cards that one of my students and his mother created.